today, we're going to talk about one of the most legendary names in all of sports history. A name that brings to mind both breathtaking skill and, well, some pretty shocking drama. Zinedine Zidane. But, for millions of fans, for teammates, for pretty much everyone who loves the game, he's known by a much simpler name, Zizou. It just has this ring to it, right? It speaks to the personal, almost intimate connection he had with the ball and the fans.
So what is it that made Zizou such a legend? I mean, before we even get into all the trophies and the awards, you really have to understand what made him so unique, so special when he was out there on the field. See, his magic wasn't just about scoring goals, not at all. It was about his vision. The guy could see passes that other players didn't even know existed. And his technique, oh man, it was so smooth, it was like he was dancing with the ball. But maybe the most incredible thing was his legendary calm. In the middle of absolute chaos, in the biggest games, he was just cool, collected, and in total control. And, that incredible mix of skills wasn't just for show. It directly led to winning. And it led to a period of time where Zinedine Zidane, well, he basically had the entire world at his feet. I mean, just look at this run. It's absolutely insane. In just a 4-year span, he won everything that mattered. He led France to a World Cup victory in '98, then followed it up by winning the European Championship in 2000. And then, for good measure, he goes to his club, Real Madrid, and wins the biggest prize there is, the Champions League. It's just a staggering list. And listen, he wasn't just some passenger on these teams. He was the main man, the engine. In that '98 World Cup final, playing at home in Paris against a powerhouse Brazil team, who steps up? Zizou. He scores 2 massive goals, both with his head, to win it all. That's the performance that turned him into a national hero overnight. And his habit of showing up in the biggest moments, it just kept going. In the 2002 Champions League final, he scored a goal that many people still say is the greatest in the history of the competition. A ridiculous, picture-perfect volley that won the trophy for Real Madrid. It was just a moment of pure, undeniable genius. So how do you even measure that level of greatness? Well, this number helps. 3. 3 times in 1998, 2000, and 2003, Zidane was officially voted the best player on the planet, the FIFA World Player of the Year. It was basically the world saying, yep, during this era, he's the guy. He is the best there is. But here's the thing about the story of Zinedine Zidane, the player. It doesn't have a simple, clean fairy tale ending. Actually, it ends with one of the most shocking, most talked about moments in the history of any sport. Okay, so picture the scene. It's the 2006 World Cup final in Berlin, France versus Italy. And everyone knows this is it. This is Zidane's last ever professional match. This is supposed to be his swan song. And he had been incredible that whole tournament, almost single-handedly dragging France to the final. He even scores a goal early in the match. Everything was pointing toward that storybook finish, one last trophy to cap off an unbelievable career. But that's not what happened. In a flash, in a moment that is still debated and analyzed to this day, his playing career came to a screeching halt. He was provoked by an opponent, and he ended up getting sent off for that now infamous headbutt. The final image of his career is him walking right past the World Cup trophy. Just a stunning, controversial, and completely unforgettable end. Now, for most athletes, a moment like that would be the end of their story. That's the image they'd be remembered for. But for Zidane, that was just the end of Act 1. His journey in football was far from over. So he hangs up the boots and puts on a suit, trading the pitch for the sideline, and he returns to the club where he was already a god, Real Madrid. The question on everyone's mind was pretty simple. Could this legendary artist on the field actually become a legendary leader off of it? Well, the answer was a huge, resounding yes. In an achievement that most people thought was basically impossible in the modern era, Zidane managed Real Madrid to 3, count 'em, 3 Champions League titles in a row from 2016 to 2018. It was a run of dominance nobody had ever seen, and it cemented a whole new chapter in his legacy. And that really brings us to the final, fascinating question here. When you think of Zinedine Zidane, what is his ultimate legacy? Is it the elegant player, the maestro who could make a football do whatever he wanted? Or is it the stoic, unflappable manager who achieves something no one else ever has? Maybe the true legacy is that he reached the absolute pinnacle of his sport, not just once, but twice, in 2 completely different ways.